but I'd like us to have our own personal relationship with Don Beyer and to give him the support that you gave Jim Moran. With that, I want you to put your hands together and welcome our Congressman, Don Beyer.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. It is so nice to be back with you. Thank you. Please let me know when iftar breaks. So,
Everybody let you know.
all right. When I was here last year, the kids had apps on their phone that told them the exact time. But I'm really thrilled to be back here and to build on the personal relationship that Imam Jabari talked about. I'd like to introduce two of my wonderful co-workers. First, Adnan Muhammad. Adnan's been with me since January, I think. And we found him, I think the Imam sent Adnan to us, or friends. He's our legislative correspondent and legislative aide. So he owns some issues. But in the first 5 months of the year, we received 43,000 pieces of mail, 99% through the internet, some mail. That was, according to the software vendors who handle it, that was double the second highest in the US Congress. The second highest had 20,000, we had 43,000. And he's answered every single one of them. And he's also, by the way, it probably represents, it isn't 43,000 separate letters, it's probably 160 or 200 different letters. You know, because people will write about a trade agreement, or they'll write about animal rights, or they'll write about the metro. But then he has to write, really in-depth letter that teaches people all about the issues and lets them know what's happening in Congress, and also tells them what my position is, because we don't want to be wishy-washy. We don't want to say, thank you for your advice, blah, blah, blah. We want to say, I firmly support or I oppose, and here's the reason why. And so not only is he answering the mail, but he's educating people to what's actually happening in these very important public policy issues. And I'm very grateful for his service and very proud of him. And I'm also a little worried that when he finished his master's degree in international relations, security studies from American University in May, that pretty soon he's going to be looking for a better job. But we're going to try to hold on to him as long as we can. Yeah, he'll be running against me for Congress, he has. But he's not old enough yet. So, and then Aaron Fritzner is the latest hire, who also handles all of the flags and the tour requests. So if you want to go to the White House, or if you want to go to the Capitol for a tour, or you want to buy a flag that's flown over the Capitol, or anything like that, Aaron's the person. He does a really good job with that too. So I'm blessed to be surrounded by those folks. Yeah. I know this is the last 10 days of Ramadan. So this, I understand, is the period of the deep thought and reflection and the real insight. It's probably the time when you're greatly looking forward to finally being over. Muslim communities make up such a dynamic, integral thread here in Northern Virginia. As I get around every day and every night, I meet more and more and more Muslims here in Northern Virginia who are doctors and lawyers and car dealers and just every aspect of it. We have two wonderful Muslims in the U.S. Congress. I spent a lot of time talking to the gentleman from Indianapolis this afternoon, who's a Muslim and a great guy who says he's already lost 12 pounds this Ramadan. And then Keith Ellison from Minnesota also leads the Progressive Caucus there. And both are really good friends. Chapter 49, verse 13 of the Quran says, O mankind, indeed we have created you from a male and female, and made you nations and tribes, so that you may get to know one another. Adnan helped me with that piece of literature, with that piece of scripture.
Yeah, let's give it up for Adnan. Adnan, stand up. Yeah.
And I was so grateful because it really goes to the heart of what it means to get to know each other, to work together, to live together in peace and harmony, to love each other, to build deep relationships. And as we go forward, as I try to serve you as humbly and as eagerly as I can, it's just a delight to come to Dar Al-Hijrah tonight and recognize so many of you. from earlier visits and think that, every time I come back, it's going to be better and better. We've had some terrible tragedies this year, some based on religion, North Carolina, some based on race, South Carolina. All of them completely inappropriate for a community where we should be supporting and loving each other. And I think those of us in leadership, whether we're the imam or the member of Congress or any one of us, has to stand up and say no. One of the things I'm going to try to do in every way I can is resist all these attempts to do profiling. Because when cops stop people on the street, or they pull people over, or they even go into somebody's house based on how they look or how they pray, it's just totally wrong, and you get the worst kinds of outcomes, as we see again and again. But I wanted to ask just three things of you. The first is, if you have a need, everything from, I can't fix traffic tickets, but anything like that, please let me know. We have a great staff here in Northern Virginia and on the Hill who can fix many, many problems. Social Security and Veterans Affairs and immigration. We have one big immigration issue out there, but we can fix lots of little immigration problems relatively easily. Second thing is, if you have any input on the legislation that's coming up, on education or transportation or metro, anything, please let us know. Adnan will write you right back. But he doesn't just write you right back. He shares every piece of incoming mail with me too, so that we get smarter. And I get to review every single letter also. And finally, please pray with me and pray for me so that we all can offer the kind of leadership that makes us an ever healthier and wholer and stronger community. I was thrilled when I was there for part of the early ceremony for the McLean Church, the McLean Islamic Center. And it was great to be there in the Episcopal Church and have the rabbi come over and have our imam and look at a very diverse community and say, this is the way it should look everywhere in America. That's what we're all about. And I know that that's what the prophet would have said also. So thank you very much. I look forward to, I'm hungry too. Not as hungry as you are, but I'm hungry. Thank you very much.
God bless.
All right. I usually don't do this. Let's give him another hand.